From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Our top story, a threatening phone call led to a temporary lockdown this afternoon at Wood River Elementary School. According to school officials, an anonymous caller phoned in a bomb threat directed at a vehicle supposedly located near the school. Alaska State Troopers responded to the call and cleared the area. Both state troopers and Fairbanks police spent hours at the school. Students there were released to their parents or designated buses shortly after the incident.
After that, law enforcement, along with one of our school resource officers, conducted an investigation and inspected the school grounds. Troopers managed to clear both the east and west side parking lots of the school, and during that time the students remained inside the building, and then right around the normal end of school hours, troopers gave the all clear, so to speak, for the building, and then students were then released to the buses and their families.
A Venati man is in jail, charged with the second-degree murder of his brother. 20-year-old Chance Eric was arraigned yesterday in Fairbanks District Court. According to court documents, Chance was arrested for the clubbing death of his brother, 36-year-old Earl Eric Jr. Troopers say Earl was found inside his home, unconscious, and flown to Anchorage Native Medical Center, where he was later pronounced dead. Witnesses told troopers the younger brother, Chance, beat Earl in the head with a large stick. Now, Chance Eric was on probation at the time of the murder after allegedly robbing another victim at knife point and damaging a Fairbanks residence.
The allegations I've read here, I think the presumption does apply. First of all, make a finding that the arrest warrant that Judge Christian issued has been served. You are in custody. You'll be held without bail until your next court date.
Senator Pete Kelly expects the Senate Finance Committee to finalize and advance the state operating budget to the Senate floor by Wednesday. Kelly co-chairs the committee, which took public testimony on the budget today and will do so again tomorrow. Senate President Kevin Meyer expects the Senate to vote Friday on its version of the operating budget. If the House doesn't agree to Senate changes, the bill will go to a conference committee where the House and Senate negotiators will work on a compromise. The House passed a $4.1 billion operating budget earlier this month. Kelly says that number has been reduced in Senate Finance.
And so we added somewhere around $20 million of reductions in addition to what the House did. We also did a few what we'd call fixes, but they haven't necessarily shown up in amendments yet.
The Alaska State Senate passed Senate Bill 30 this afternoon on reconsideration. The bill irons out wrinkles between existing marijuana criminal laws and the voter initiative that passed in November to legalize the recreational use of pot. The bill was scheduled to go to a vote on the Senate floor Friday, but a last-minute amendment submitted by Fairbanks Senator Pete Kelly caused the vote to be delayed until today. Kelly spoke on his amendment this afternoon, which would have recriminalized marijuana concentrates in 2017. Kelly contends that voters were not aware that the initiative included marijuana concentrates, which he describes as, quote, very dangerous. The Senate failed to adopt the amendment by a 14-6 vote. SB 30, which also legalizes commercial pot sales beginning next year, passed 17-3.
What this does is say, yes, we'll implement what you wanted to regulate it, and regulation always says you have to figure out ways to hold people accountable when they misuse what is made legal. But yet to come is the growing it. So it's a work in progress. It's going to be a year-long debate, a lot of work to do, but this at least gives us a structure for if you're going to misuse what the initiative said, there's some penalties.
All right, when we come back, state troopers rescued a man from a glacier over the weekend.
Also, Fairbanks residents turned out Sunday to honor past veterans of the Vietnam War. These stories and more when we return. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Alaska State Troopers rescued a Fairbanks man from a crevasse at Eureka Glacier early yesterday morning. 69-year-old Robert McClintock wrecked his snow machine on the glacier and was injured in the large fissure. Sean Murphy, a friend of McClintock who had been riding with him, notified state troopers. The 210th Rescue Squadron dispatched a C-130 and a Blackhawk helicopter to remove McClintock from the glacier. He was flown to Fairbanks Memorial Hospital and is listed in stable condition. KTUU, our NBC affiliate in Anchorage, talked to McClintock and his wife by phone about the experience.
Alaska is a state where the outdoors is everything up here, whether you're hunting, fishing, canoeing, or whatever. A rescue service like this is just beyond worth. You can't put a price tag on this sort of thing. They saved my life, without a doubt. They'd have been, if these guys hadn't come, somebody would have hauled the body out of there. This is the truth.
he must be traveling with a lot of angels, because it's unbelievable that he survived this. People come in and they just don't survive those kinds of accidents, especially with absolutely no injuries. It's mind-boggling. I mean, he's like a cat with, 29 lives.
Over 200 people came to a Veterans Celebration event yesterday to show their support to local soldiers that fought in the Vietnam War. Ryan Grimes was there. He has the story.
Interior veterans of the Vietnam War were able to come together and share their stories with others during their service celebration event yesterday. The Vietnam Veterans Celebration was hosted by Festival Fairbanks. Executive Director Julia Jones says she was glad a large number of veterans came.
So many people showed up to help with the food and the seating and the cleanup, and it was a serious community event with a lot of volunteers that came out to help.
One main talking point that veterans shared in the event was the extremely negative homecoming they received coming back from the war.
All Vietnam vets understand that we weren't treated very honorably.
Fairbanks Police Chief Randall Aragon says the treatment from the public was disheartening.
When I returned, I was in the terminal, and I was walking towards a group in my uniform. I was real proud, and three young teenagers, and they actually spit in front of me.
It was like not wanting to let people know what you had been through and what you had done for fear of being rejected.
Overall, the veterans say they have seen a more positive change from the public in recent years, as evidenced by the celebration.
This is that welcoming home I expected when I came back in 1970.
But I must say, this event, in tribute to the many veterans such as myself and others, I'm really pleased, very pleased.
This is Ryan Grimes reporting.
Alaskans are almost out of time to sign up for their share of the state's oil wealth this year. Tuesday is the deadline to apply for the 2015 Alaska Permanent Fund dividend. The payout is based on the 5-year average of the fund's statutory net income. Some people showed up at the PFD office downtown today and were not happy to learn it was closed because today's Stewart's Day. Last year, the 1,884 payout distributed to Alaskans was more than double the amount of the $900 year before. Have you signed up?
Okay, yeah, I signed up about a week ago, me and the family, so yeah.
Cutting it close.
Cutting it close, but still did it, yeah.
I could understand people being a little frustrated today showing up.
I mean, sure, and in fact, one more day is all they need, so, it's getting close.
They can sign up online, too, though.
That is true, All right, Joe Cook is back from vacation, as
You are too. Well. Both of you guys left me this week.
Yeah, little Vegas sun. That's for sure. Okay, Joe has your weekend recap in sports coming up after the break.
Hello, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook back in the sports seat for you this Monday evening after a staycation. Now it's time for the weekend recap. The top story from this weekend is that the Fairbanks Ice Dogs are back on top. In the regular season finale, the Ice Dogs had a chance to lock up the Midwest Division crown on Saturday night against the Kenai River Brown Bears. Fairbanks blew them out 72 on Friday night. The Brown Bears, with nothing to lose, gave the Ice Dogs a game. Special teams were huge as there were 7 power play goals scored in this one. Fairbanks had the edge 4 out of 9, but the game was tied at 3-all going into the third period. Jacob Hetz would break the tie 3 minutes into the third period with his second goal of the game, a power play lamplighter after the assist from Jesper Oval and Reiner Gorowski. But just 3 minutes later, Chandler Mondry, he would add some insurance with a power play score of his own. The Ice Dogs, they hold on and they win this one 5-4 and clinch their second straight Midwest Division title, their 4th division title in 5 years. Fairbanks ends the season with a 40-16-4 record. The Ice Dogs had more wins to earn the tiebreaker over the Wilderness. Now the Ice Dogs will host the Minnesota Magicians in the first round of the division playoffs.
I think that last period really showed what we're capable of and what we can do for 3 periods. So I think it's a great stepping stone and for getting ready for playoffs.
Even though we were able to have a fair amount of success against Kenai this year, they just push us every single game. They compete and they're physical. So it was a playoff type atmosphere tonight, and that should get us ready for playoffs, I imagine.
The boys are all happy about it. It's a good accomplishment right now, but that's not what we want in the end result. So we're focused on the big one, so we're ready to go.
And sticking with hockey, 3 local teams competed for national titles over the weekend. Today was the girls' Tier 2 U16 Toyota USA Hockey National Championship in Lansing, Michigan. Team Alaska U16 girls squad fell 2-1 to the East Coast Wizards of Massachusetts in the title game. Jaden Trebojevic scored the lone goal for Alaska before the Wizards scored 2 unanswered to win the national title. Team Alaska is the first girls U16 team to play for a national title and just the 4th Alaskan girls team to reach a national final. Sunday, the Icebreakers U19 team lost 3-2 in triple overtime in the semifinals to Marquette, Michigan, and the U18 Arctic Lions boys team. They finished 0-3. A couple of skiers accomplished signature feats in the 28th Denali State Bank Saw-Not Kazoo. Saturday, over 260 skiers set out on the 20K, 40K, and 50K courses in the downtown Fairbanks on Chena River. The crews were able to keep trails intact despite some open water and thin ice in some areas. West Valley sophomore Jenna DeFalco, she repeats as the women's 20K champion, finishing in 52 minutes, 43.5 seconds. And the women's 50K freestyle, former UAF skier Rebecca Con-Isny won back-to-back titles. She's the first to repeat since Melissa Lewis did it in 2006. Lewis was this year's runner-up. Peter Leonard, as you just see there, he won by a hair in the men's 20K. He won by 0.7 seconds over Ty Donaldson. Benjamin Koenig was 1 second off the leader, and Colin Leese, he finished just 3.2 seconds behind the leader. Quinn Vinlove, he won the men's 40K. Jack Novak won the 50K race. Cindy Freestone took the women's 40K, and Peter Abraham is your 50K Classic winner. Lisa Stubby won the women's 50K Classic.
I'm pretty happy with it. It was fun to race with those other 3 boys that I don't normally race with, and it was pretty tough, especially in the last couple K.
Looks like a group of 5 of us formed by about 6K and traded leads and just were ripping down the trail. And it was, I mean, one for the ages, I think, out there.
And now we wrap up the Sportscast with this week's edition of the I-5 Interior Top 5 Plays. At number 5, check out the toughness displayed from Jacob Hetz of the Ice Dogs. Takes the shot while taking a shot and scores despite the contact in a 7-2 win over Kenai River on Friday night. At number 4, Jenna DeFalco wins her 2nd straight women's 20K Saw-Not Kazoo title on Saturday in a winning time at 52 minutes, 43.5 seconds. At number 3, teamwork makes the dream work. Chandler Maudry with the beautiful pass to Hetz for the one-timer and the Ice Dogs 5-4 win over the Brown Bears on Saturday night. At number 2, Pete Leonard wins the men's 20K in the Saw-Not Kazoo in a near photo finish. Leonard won the race by 7/100ths of a second. Spots 1 through 4 were decided by 3 seconds or less. At number 1, Tyler Tomberlin scores what could be the goal of the year for the Ice Dogs. Tomberlin escapes 2 defenders in toe drags and backhands top shelf for the goal, his 4th of the season, finishing a spectacular play. Just nasty. That was in Friday's 7-2 win over Kenai River. To vote for the play of the week, click on your play on the I-5 poll on Webster11.com. You can also comment on the KTVF Facebook and YouTube posts and send a tweet to KTVF11 Sports on Twitter for your vote. The play of the week will be revealed this Friday.
The I-5 Sports Report is brought to you by Adient Orthopedic Physical Therapy.
And that was really nice. And that'll do it for sports tonight. Mike Schultz is next with your full weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back into a Monday edition of the Fbx Evening News. Mike Schultz with you once again talking about weather. What a great weekend it was. It was just magnificent. Temperatures near 50 degrees each day. Still lots of melting going on. I had a good chance to get out with my grandkids and had a good chance to go over to the playgrounds and play with them. And these old bones are not what they used to be, that's for sure. We'll talk weather in a little bit. Take a look at our photograph for tonight. This is an interesting structure from Mother Nature. Look at the snow melted all the way around the top down to the roof there, and that's a nice overlap there sent in by George Shepard. And again, a very interesting photograph. And if you, as always, if you have a photograph you want to share, by all means send it to photos at KTVF11.com. What's the numbers look like? Well, right now 48 degrees after a high of 50. The low last night 20. The record high 52. That was set in 1993, down to 40 below in 1944. Now the sunrise and sunset, that's about 13, almost 13 and a half hours of daylight, a gain of 7 minutes from yesterday. And our latest Ice Classic update. The ice thickness is at 37.5 inches, and the temperatures are forecasting in the low to mid 40s the rest of the week. So you might want to get your tickets made up, because April 5th is when the last one will be made, an opportunity for you to get involved with this year's Ice Classic. Here's what's going on our satellite and radar. all the moisture once again trapped south of the Alaska Range. The Alaska Range sitting right about here, keeping all that moisture down there and none of it making it into the Fairbanks area. Just some high clouds. That's about it. More rain falling across southeast Alaska. That shows up on our big map, as you can see here. Once again, more rain from Juneau right on down to Ketchikan. 47 degrees at Juneau. Nice day in Anchorage, 51 degrees there. A few scattered showers around the Kodiak region, and also cloudy skies along the Aleutian chain at Cold Bay. While up and down the west coast, it's kind of chilly around Nome, 9 degrees there. Barrow at 1 degree above, and Fort Yukon 28 degrees above also, not too bad. Lower 48 weather looks like this, and again we're talking about nice weather for most of the western sections of the country, including Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and Phoenix, 96 degrees at Phoenix. Some showers around the Seattle area, and then we get into a more concentrated area of showers and thunderstorms around parts of Texas. Nice around Minneapolis, finally warming up there, 61 degrees at Chicago. And nice weather over the Gulf Coast regions around the Florida Peninsula, 80 degrees at Miami, and some showers in New York. Now on the satellite and radar, you can see these showers developing in the afternoon heating and then taking off and developing a fairly hefty, not too bad, nothing severe. And there's the showers over the northeast, while over the west coast, we have a new band of moisture moving ashore, the Pacific Northwest, right on down the frontal boundary there, bringing some sprinkles here and there. But temperatures are the thing we're looking at right now. The drought continues over California. They are in really bad shape, and 90-degree temperatures expected once again tomorrow as they were today, with 80 degrees up around the Sacramento area. Now, as far as the overall jet stream, once again, it'll remain to the north, which means high pressure will dominate the western half of the country. Rain over the Pacific Northwest. Thunderstorms again rumbling across the deep south along that jet stream. Well, back to Alaska, very much calmer forecast here. Just some blowing snow in Barrow, isolated snow showers at Fort Yukon, and cloudy skies for the Nome area. While over the interior, looks like great weather again. Mostly cloudy and not as warm for Fairbanks, Healy, and Delta. 44 degrees isn't too bad, though. For this time of year, it's definitely above normal. The outlook for southeast, though, rain likely at Juneau, scattered showers for Ketchikan. While over the southwest part of the state, it looks like for the most part mixed showers for Cold Bay, showers for Kodiak, and scattered snow showers for Bethel. And if you're heading on down the Anchorage area, it looks pretty nice down there, except for a few scattered showers here and there. Isolated showers for Anchorage and Homer, and mixed rain and snow showers in the Valdez region. Well, it's a new week, which means it's time once again for a new school for our kids' weather. And this week we're going to be talking with the kids from Ann Ween Elementary School. Tonight, here's a young lady with an interesting story about some wind.
Last summer, in like June, my brother had a baseball game, and in between games, my dad was taking him home to change so he could be ready for his next game. And the night before it had been really windy, and then there was a bunch of cops and fire trucks at our house, and so my dad asked what happened, and a tree had fell onto our garage. And
kind of a rude awakening to come home to, isn't it? Again, thanks to Mount McKinley Bank for sponsoring our kids' weather. Tomorrow night, a young man will be here with a picture that he's drawn to share with us. All right, here's your forecast for the remainder of the night. 20 degrees, the overnight low, partly cloudy skies, continued very mild for this time of year. Tomorrow's forecast, not as warm as it was today, 44, like I said earlier, increasing clouds through the day, and the extended forecast, a little bit of a chilling trend coming our way. A little cooler temperatures, as you can see, for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, dropping down below freezing once again. Maybe a little sprinkle or a snow flurry here or there is possible on Saturday or Sunday. And overnight lows will also be dropping down to the mid-teens, but all in all, still not too bad. A little bit cooler than it should be this weekend.
Well, I haven't been wearing a jacket, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I wasn't wearing a jacket down in Vegas. I don't know about you guys, but it was nice.
Well, I probably wouldn't have been either.
It was too hot, actually.
Yes.
You know, I'm an Alaska boy. I discovered that on day 2. So this is exactly where I want to be, perfect temps and everything. So, and you had a great vacation too.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I like to just unwind, staycation.
Yeah, lots of basketball.
Yeah, pretty much watching March Madness and catching up on Netflix and stuff.
Oh, sure.
So,
yeah, it was very good.
What shows?
I found the X-Files.
Ooh. Oh, that's old. That is old.
I went back on that. I grew up watching that. So
I thought for sure you'd say the Real Housewives of something.
No,
that's
fine. Just basketball. X-Files.
Very good. Well, we're all back. That's great. Wonderful and in good health. So that works. That will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We are glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, it has been released that the German Wings co-pilot Andreas Lupitz was actually being treated for suicidal tendencies. That's up next with Lester Holt.
You can join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
Don't forget about Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and all the other avenues and our breaking text.
ESP.
Breaking text and everything.
Sketch, everything.
Sketch. All right, from all of us here at the News Center, have a good night.